What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
Mr. Just One.
Yo, what's happening?
And Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
And tonight we are going to continue with the collection critique series. You know the routine. Check your feelings at the door. They have no place here. If you want the uncut audio version of this conversation, please feel free to check out Patreon, where you can get that, as well as Sit Down Saturday and many other things at your convenience. And also, a lot of people hit us up saying, can we still submit? Absolutely. Get at me on Instagram and DM me, and I will give you instructions on how to do so. And next month, we're going to try to do some listener questions. So if you have any questions, you can email them to bobbyskullface@gmail.com. So with that, we'll start with Brian G.
Wow.
Perfect. I'm just going through the checklist of things. Hasbro Unicron, check.
Joker with a camera, check. We've got fishing line, check.
Just a combination of things that for whatever reason that that bookshelf in the first one that's like blue with the red and yellow studs that he has like the Super Friends and stuff on. Like there's something about that makes me think about those Matchbox carrying cases that were like parking garages that opened up.
Yeah.
Right. It does look like that.
But I'm not saying that in defense of this. I don't like anything really about this.
I kind of want to drop a marble on it and see what happens.
He's got a Toys R Us, little Toys R Us sign, little nostalgia in the top.
Ooh.
Yeah, and these pictures are low quality also, so it's a little hard to
zoom in.
Dude, is that a cape hanging behind the door? Oh, it's several capes.
That's a little Ewok village.
So the Ewok village is my favorite thing because it has like the little diorama, the knocked over ATST.
Your whole collection is insane. Like just even the way that it's like put together, it looks like you're a madman. I can tell.
Yeah, it's jam packed in here. It's cluttered, but it's not messy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's just too much stuff.
So the third picture, you can see the office chair.
Yeah.
And then to the left at the top, there's like this line of figures, and then they jump off the shelf and they're like floating through is it a Green Goblin? Is that what that is?
I think they're Green Lanterns.
Oh, Green Lanterns.
They're doing
that's interesting.
Oh, I didn't even see them.
And there's a green light on them too.
Huh.
And I think it's interesting. I don't know that it's executed the best, but it's an original idea. Like you know how many years we've been doing this? I've never seen anybody do something where that kind of leaps from the shelf.
Yeah, me neither.
Into the air.
Yeah, there's even some hanging from the shelf. Like if you go all the way to the left side, they're hanging from fishing line.
This looks like I'm gonna be honest with you. This looks like this looks like you just told a kid to go clean their room, and this is what it looks like.
Right. Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild.
It does make me nervous that you have so much stuff. Like it is so jammed in there, and I get it. Like, right, you have a lot of stuff. It's like, how do you even make this? And it started out like each section kind of has a corner, and it looks like like it looked good at one point, and then it just you went on you bought out like somebody's estate.
There's room for one more.
Have now too much stuff.
There's room for one more.
I think if there weren't so many like small independent pieces of furniture, maybe if we could like make the furniture a little bit more cohesive, that might help not feel quite so.
Maybe looking at those posters that you were talking about, it is cool that like some of them are like the Transformers like checklist sheets that used to come in the boxes, like those fold out like check sheets of like collect them all.
Oh, right, where like it shows you what else you need to get.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's nostalgic.
He does still have room on that wall for some other art, though.
Well, there is room on these walls that he might want to consider taking the art down and having bigger, more kind of robust shelving to spread this stuff out a bit. Because he does have a significant amount of wall art and stuff, which I actually think is some of the more interesting decor in the room. But everything else looks so crowded and jam-packed in there that it might be worth rethinking that, taking that stuff down, getting new furniture that sort of fills the space, and then really, allocating these pieces to that furniture. I mean, because there's even like a work desk in here where he's like, looks like he's got like carving foam and stuff. He's crafty. He's got stuff going on.
Right, he's making dioramas.
A lot of dioramas.
Yeah.
Whatever that Super Friend shelf is, though, like that guy loves that shelf, or gal loves that shelf because they're everywhere. They're just not painted that color. Like the one that's got the Dinobots is the same shelf.
Yeah, with that curve.
And actually, that's not bad. Look at how if you go to the Dinobots one, even though you can't see it, like where the metal bars are, they're pieces of wood, so it looks like a tree. Like that looks like all 3 of them is like a Dinobot diorama.
Yeah, that is cool.
And there's like wood that covers the bars. I don't know.
Yeah, take the furniture down, rethink the wall art, bigger cases, spread this stuff out. et cetera, et cetera.
Sounds like Green Lantern so much.
You're so far in that, like, yeah, really, it's just about making it look less cluttered and more interesting.
Yeah, the dioramas are cool. You got something going on there. That shelf with that table with the ATST and the Ewok Village is my favorite thing you got going on. But
everything underneath starts to feel really.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about the table itself. But yeah, so let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna guess this is Yigal, not like your gal, but Yigal.
I was wondering there for a second.
And this is a very clean space. This guy would not want to set foot in Brian G's spot. This looks like Billy's with the glass doors.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of the way that the frames on the glass doors cut the Billy like that. I just don't think it's worth it. I think you should just dust. I just don't think it looks good. We've seen people make it look good when they sort of use those dividers as if they're structural and they keep pieces either to the left or to the right of it. But when everything starts to flow over top of it, it ends up just looking like another thing of mess to me. The lights look great in it though.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not a fan of the lights.
Oh, really?
I think if you're gonna use a strip light like that, you have to put like a diffuser over it so you don't see all the individual dots.
That's fair.
I think it's lit well, like it lights up the shelf well. I just don't like seeing like the LED, each individual LED like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't see what's really the purpose of the glass is to prevent dust from getting on your figure.
Yeah.
Well,
so you're gonna have your displays.
I think it also like elevates the look, not necessarily when it's split, but I think making it look more museum quality.
Yeah, I think it could, but I don't think that's why people do it really. I think people do it for dust. But I'll tell you, like I have Detolfs down here in my basement, and I just started my like annual dusting of my basement. And I can tell you in the process of dusting them, like there's just as much of a layer of dust inside my enclosed Detolf as there is on my bookshelves.
Yeah, the glass doors on the Billy don't bother me. I actually like them. I do feel like it elevates it. Something about having something behind a piece of glass makes it seem a little bit more like high quality.
I think it can. My opinion is that it's the way that they're split. That's what lowers it. I think glass, like I've thought about trying to get custom like plexiglass for my Billy stuff that would be kind of like a Magicase approach that you could like magnetize. And
I think you totally, right. I think you totally could.
But it's the split of the glass that makes it look trashy to me. Like it makes it look tacky.
It just breaks it up for your eye, so it feels
busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming the plexiglass shelves in this Billy are custom, but like you have too much. Even the top one you can see is already bowing on the Autobot side, like above the Omega Supreme. So you just have too much stuff in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's minor, but it's starting to, and that's a thick ass piece of plexiglass. The shelving's thick. Yeah.
If the purpose of having the glass on your displays is solely due to preventing dust, and you don't necessarily do it for the aesthetic of having glass on your shelves, right? If it's for aesthetic, cool. But if it's only for utility and to prevent dust, is it really practical to display your figures in a way that you don't like looks just to save yourself a couple days of dusting once a year?
Right. The China cabinet with all the Back to the Future stuff is busy, but I do like all of that stuff in there for some reason. It looks like a memorabilia thing to me. Like,
I was just going to talk about that too. That I think that especially the top one with Doc coming down from the tower, that's cool. I've never seen anybody have that.
Yeah, and like little stuff like the hat, it's just the variety of stuff in there. Like just it makes it look more interesting. It makes it look more like a celebration of the fandom, as opposed to like a collection type thing. But I think it works.
I think the furniture does this collection a disservice. I think it's better than the furniture lets it be.
In this case,
yeah,
I agree.
Because I think it is cool. Like the hat, you have each layer. It's all like Back to the Future stuff. I would get rid of the Unicron pop on top just because it takes away. Like you have this theme going on and you have some really cool stuff in there that I think you should love that more than it seems like you do.
The Detolf setup that he has, there are shelves that I think work and then shelves that I think do not. Like actually it's pretty much the second shelf down all the way across looks good to me. And then the Flash and Tony Montana, but the DVD of the Tony Montana doesn't work for me. But those 6 shelves really, and like the rest of it just looks kind of not completely realized yet. I think the top shelf has too many small things in it.
Yeah.
Right. And you can see like you tried to make it with the space by putting the comics back there.
Yeah, but it doesn't have. It still needs an impact piece.
For like honestly, especially with that, I know like you've got this. I'm assuming that's the Hot Toys Marty in front of the poster, but that would look good in like that top middle one. You need that Marty up in the top
for that car.
Oh yeah, the car is not meant to. Like it's more like here, like, and like I don't think he came with that dog either, but maybe he did. I don't know.
No.
I'm far from an expert, but the dog kind of works.
Giant Marty.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got room to raise those. There's Unicron. You know you're a collector when you got that hat about Unicron. I would raise those Detolfs up off the ground.
Yeah, and put Unicron at the bottom.
Yeah, just make one big four-door. Get a big piece of glass like Robert's talking about.
Well, that's my thing always with this stuff is like if it fits at the top, it'll fit at the bottom.
Wait, do you mean just like lay Unicron down and stand the Detolfs up?
No, like
him?
No. Like I always view it that way. Like if a person has a setup, whatever they have at the top of that Detolf will obviously fit at the bottom of that Detolf. Do you know what I mean?
You need to have something that's big enough to contain it.
Correct, but that's sometimes you need to get into custom stuff.
Sometimes.
You know, well, I mean, like I have these like they're not elegant, they're not pretty. If you were to look at them for more than a second, you would see how basic they are. But I have these little custom made single Detolf risers that are almost looking if you were to ever stop and really focus on them, but you just never do because your eye just keeps going from thing to thing and it all kind of blends together. It doesn't have to be expensive just because it's custom.
Yeah, dude, look at the top of this last photo. You've got the Marty on the hoverboard and the dock in there. Why aren't those with the other stuff? I just think you have some possibilities to move some stuff around.
Yeah, same with the Vader, Grievous, and Dooku.
I do not like that cabinet at all.
Yeah, this cabinet's got to go. He's got Vader and Grievous and Dooku, which is an odd threesome anyway, but maybe put Grievous and Dooku in one and then Vader in another by himself.
I was going to say the same thing.
I like
and then he's got
the one
gremlin.
But I mean, clearly he's working on that shelf, but
is he though?
I think he's working on it. But the Transformer stuff is also just really crowded in this.
And the Billies.
In the Billies is
just
too much.
Yeah. Be bad. What do you think?
Much.
Let's move on to the next one. This is Blastoff 2334.
It's a new modern. Billies are the new modern.
I mean, this is fine. This is a good starter pack kind of thing. Like, I think you could put, he's got those big bots across the top, so that's okay. Get them lit. Put Detolfs or something on the sides to kind of like, frame it out with something so it's not just empty wall. Maybe work on your layout of some of this stuff a little bit. And you haven't made any errors here.
No, totally. And you could frame it out even if you made the two Billies that you have in the middle, the big squares directly in the middle, like make them they mirror each other so it's the same height of the shelves for the biggest squares, and then you could do little shelves on the side and that would look like it framed it out too. Just by changing the shelf space.
I don't like the different big shelves on the bottom and different big shelves in the middle. It's too much for me.
Yeah, I think those big shelves, because he's got those big bots, right? But I think those big shelves, he could put some of those big bots up top. Like he's got the space for it up there.
Yeah, but they're just like kind of random. So he did them all obviously to fit whatever bot was going in there, but I feel like it needed to be.
Yeah, why are you random things out?
Go with the big.
Sorry, Laura, go ahead.
No, just you have to go with the biggest size that you need, right? All the way across, or stagger them or something, but you can't have like 3 or 4 different sizes.
Right. But I think that I guess that's what I'm saying is that he could take a couple of those and put them at the top, and then that would allow the room for 3 across one bottom layer to be all the big stuff. He's got too much stuff to do one layer right now.
I don't know. I think Billy's elevate Masterpiece, Fans Toys, Flame Toys, I think, and like all the newest Bumblebee movie stuff. I think Billy's elevate that in a display. I think Chug makes Billy's look bad. I don't think Chug work with Billy's.
It's because you hate Chug. But what would you put Chug in? No,
garbage.
I knew it.
No, but I don't know. It's like I wish I knew, but
because I think I think if you the smaller stuff with smaller framed spaces when they're because we've seen Chugs look good before. Floating shelves. We've seen Chugs work well on floating shelves.
Yeah.
You can't crowd Chug. It's bad crowding anything.
Yeah, it's true. You can't crowd Chug.
And you can't really have them too far apart from each other because they're not individually impressive enough to pull off soloing, So it's challenging. I mean, they end up with this stuff that has articulation, but it doesn't look good articulating.
That Black Zarak looks like he's got a gun to Power Master Prime saying, "Smell my armpit. Smell my armpit."
Yeah, I think the furniture has promise, but we need to do something more organized with the shelves, and then we have to start putting all the Transformers on the shelf from
let me give you another pro tip. Also, start wherever you want to start, preferably in the center of the room, and connect those two billies. Push them together. Get a plate at the top and drill the plate to keep those two connected, so you don't have these gaps and like a slight off like connections.
Robert, you know what this guy does have room for? A sideways billy topper on either side.
Yeah. Well, no, I was thinking this is the first time I've seen a billy display thinking it needs to be elevated off the ground.
Well, yeah, but I think that's because it's not lit. He doesn't have it framed out.
Are they billies? Actually, they may not be billies because billies do have that gap on the bottom that does raise up that bottom shelf a little bit.
You're right.
Yeah, because the fixed shelf.
You're right.
Yeah, like
you're right. You're right.
Because those are like flush on either way.
Well, actually, 3 are the same. 1 is different. You can cover the bottoms. There's Stevies.
These are
and Willies. The one on the left is Willies, and the one on the right is a Stevie. It's even a different color white.
You got a whole wall of Stevies. That's nuts.
The fourth one on the right is a different shade of white, and the base is different.
Let's look at the next one. This is Jeremy L. You know what I love? Took a picture with his dogs kicked up on the coffee table. He's kicking back. He's relaxing. He's
wearing lifts.
And I think
It's a cool space.
You know why he's relaxing?
Yeah,
because he's put in some decent work and he's got a good looking space.
When you have 3 figures,
I really think
this is an adult right here.
the frames, the empty frames with the
figures inside them.
Cool,
it's insanely clever.
Yeah, very cool.
Ooh, look at the 2 robots posing on the stand on his coffee table. Very artistic.
He's got a duck in there, dude.
You know what? No, it does look very nice. Yes, applause.
No, this is an adult. This dude's but
I mean,
he's the most adult person we've had on here.
He has like 5 figures.
Yeah, you don't. But hey,
5 figures and whatever I wanted to do with the room, make it look nice.
Quality over quantity.
It's a cool trunk.
Yeah, no, this nice.
Yeah, we say it all the time. We say it all the time. You don't need to have 1,000 things. You can have less things and make it look good. Let me tell you what I love. Just in this first picture, I love the little gumball thing next to the TV. I love the standing lights. I love the backlit yellow light in the TV stand.
Yep.
I love the framed pictures with the figures in the empty frames.
I love this vintage golden that you got on this shelf. I couldn't
make my joke.
You know the one thing I don't like is I don't think it fits. I think it could fit. I just think you need to change the direction of it. Is the plant like I think you need to rotate.
But you can let it hang off the side.
Let it hang off the side, hanging in front of the plane and down in front of the books and everything. That just like get this out of my way.
I thought Bobby was going to be like that plant should be going up ceiling.
And then look at that. You got some room for some art. I know a guy. I'll just say, in the frames, like look at that. He's got the G1 cassettes in there.
Yeah.
That I'm assuming because it's these 2 and they're like it's maybe yours that you had as a kid.
Yeah, dude. His choices I find like he's got a Make Toys Giant, a G1 Defensor, an Akira bike, the racer from Speed Racer, like the car. He's got Voltron. Like it's just class.
His G1 boys in shadow boxes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like.
Yeah, see those 2 in the GoBot and everything. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Very cool.
Well,
2 figures, like the one like with the lifting the other one on its back, like they're just posed really nice, like they would be like a statue. Like if you look at the individual one, it's like these 2 like android looking.
Oh things. Yeah. Those are those. I know what those are. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
Oh, and then look, you can see
I got one problem with this whole space
inside the table.
What car is that?
Yeah, I was trying to look and see what was in there.
Yeah, some kind of car. Like maybe it's like his favorite.
Oh yeah,
Chevy or something.
This is the one. If you go to the very last photo, the one thing is now when you see the whole space and you see how much real estate he has above the shelves in the TV.
Room for art.
I feel like you just need something up there.
Yeah.
And not, I mean, big, even if it was like a big piece of art or something, you just need something to take up the space. I mean,
you need a blanket.
You know what you need is a blanket. You need, yep. You need a blanket just pinned to the wall.
This looks fantastic.
This is great.
A waffle cone.
Picture of people that are angry in bed.
A pine cone.
I need some nitroglycerin pills.
A traffic cone.
Dude, you're right. That is a straight raspy laugh once I figured out what wrong with it. Oh, that's funny.